What's going on?
Yeah, not much, mate. Another long week done and dusted. What have you got planned for the weekend, sir?
Got a 40th. Going to a 40th on Saturday and gonna get very drunk and then maybe wake up hungover and play some Blood Bowl, I think.
That that's the true Blood Bowl way, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, should be good. What about you?
I'm going to spend the day with the family tomorrow. I'm not on call and my wife's not working, so it's a very rare occasion where we're all off at the same time from work duties. So I think we're going to try and
Nice.
do something.
That sounds good, man. I like it.
Yeah,
Good, big plans that may eventuate or may not.
look, let's just try not to kill each other for the whole day, and that'll be a success, to be honest. So, but yeah, we're into the first week of finals. It's gone quick again. It always feels like at the start, it's like, oh, it's going to be a long season, and then bam, just like that. I
Yes.
think that's probably a testament to how well everyone gets their games out. So, congratulations to everyone.
That was quick, eh? It was a really good season, guys. I think we've got a good bunch of guys now that are, yeah, playing
Pretty
some quality
solid.
Blood Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been
we
some
got
good games.
two teams that well, I think we should probably applaud them. Two teams that went 5-0, no draws, no losses. That
Fuck
being,
yeah.
and both of them have won it multiple times. So I guess it goes to show it doesn't matter what team you play. If you got quality,
Yep.
it
If
shows.
you can go 5-0 with Vamps,
Yeah.
you are a bloody legend.
Or
5-0
fucking
and
lucky with dice is my
yeah.
in my game.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right.
It helps.
It does. But
I
I
don't
mean,
think 5 games you can't get that lucky in five
nah,
games. I've never had that good a run of good luck.
no.
It's some serious skill.
Well deserved. And same as the AI program. He just did what he normally does. Doesn't tell anyone when he's playing, and just clocks up another win and goes on to his merry way.
Yeah, he's a very humble man, but very, very talented coach. Who,
Yes.
yeah, we love playing, and hopefully one season I get to. I've never spun in the same season as Lonro, so I'm really looking forward to the day when that happens soon. So, could
He,
everyone else keep losing because I want to crack to take out the best.
I was going to say eager for a loss, are you? Okay.
Well, maybe if I'm not playing goblins, I might have a chance, but we'll see. We'll see.
Indeed.
A bit of chainsaw might hurt some zons. You never know.
A couple of bombs. You can't dodge a bomb. Go from
Yeah.
there. So we're going to start with, obviously we've got the shitty woody spoon that's not ready. So we've got two teams in the two wooden spoons already. That being unfortunately the other end of the spectrum, the 0 and 5 teams, which is Khemri and Chaos. So two big bash teams, second season of the cycle, and they've gone 0 and 5, unfortunately. So we're not going to show them up this week, only because they're not actually playing. They'll be playing the people that lose in the Do Not Bother Bowl. So let's jump into that one, I think. Let's have a look. Just a quick look at the schedule. So we've got Cunt Parade, a team that's going to be deleted, versus the Great White Hype. Pass Dogs. After the first two games, mate, that guy was he was up there, and then it all went pear-shaped, all because he tried to stall. And
Yeah. Stalling is a double-edged sword. I'm a big fan.
I'm not.
But
I
you
hate
do
it.
have those days. You hate it?
I
Oh,
I got white line fever, mate. I don't trust myself in my defence. I could have 9 guys in a box around my guy, and I'll still worry about screwing it up somehow. So.
did you get a bit of PTSD from goblins that game? Did you? I think I
No
still throw
slan.
it.
Fucking the,
No, yeah, no, they give. I still got PTSD from.
yeah.
goblins, so.
I literally had to do a 9-man defense and hold off for 2 turns. I'm just like, I got nothing else. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
But
no, he knows how to put the pressure on. Definitely, very good at that.
So let's have a look. Cunt Parade. This Bretonians. I want to see Loners. Lonro. Is it Lonro? How do you pronounce it?
Don't ask me.
I fucking
I don't
tried.
know.
It's loners. I'm sorry, mate. You can beat me again in the game. It's loners. Um,
It's
absolutely.
actually
Yeah.
smashed him.
No, I want him to play Bretonians. I want to. I want to see how.
Break the curse.
Yeah, just get a real player to play Bretonians.
I think we might have that next season. I've heard a little bit of rumours that one of the pretty talented coaches might have a crack, but we'll see if he's game enough.
Let's see.
So I'll let him do that now. I have heard there may be a rumour for not next season, but the season after.
Ooh,
So
that'd be good.
we'll see.
That'd be good.
We'll see.
But his team's not looking too bad, except for the 4 injuries, niggling injuries. Statbast. He's just copped it, hasn't he?
Very good. I think he had a rough season. It looks like he's rebuilt very well in a couple of games, considering I think he lost 2 blitzes in one game, and they were both, well, at least one of them was a stat up, plus edge, which would have been very painful. But
yeah, he had some fantastic blitzes.
When you look at this team now, what do you think? I mean, 12 players, the stat downs aren't terrible. Like, movement.
My problem is
edge.
you've got, for example, the niggling on a blocker and a blitzer. I don't think it's worth saving. I mean, you keep it. I wouldn't delete it.
Yep.
I would see how my other teams go. I mean, yeah, as you said, 2 peasants, whatever. Guess what? They sit on the line. But having said that, would you not rather just sack him and get the loner?
He probably plans to. I mean, we've all been there before. You've lost a couple of players in one go. It takes 4 or 5 games to get the cash to replace the players. And in the meantime, you've got to play with these guys.
Yeah.
Because it's, if you've lost 2 blitzes in a game, that's, what,
220. Yeah, 220.
Then, you can't afford to replace them and your lockers. It's going to take 4 or 5 games. So.
Yeah, which is the season, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look,
in the meantime, what do you do?
I believe you asked the admins if you can swap teams halfway through a season. And you know what? I looked at that and went, no, that's a fair call. Ask, but you can't help but ask. So, but it's not looking bad. Yeah. I think for the final, it's not as in bad shape as I thought it would be. So, 3 re-rolls as well.
He's done a good job of recovering the team. All of these injuries are manageable. I think Sid can work his way around them. He's good enough too.
And he's 220.
But it's on a guard piece. You can lose edge on a guard piece. You can lose movement or edge on a piece that's just going to be hit on the line.
Yeah.
He can make these work. For me, a niggle is just this player's going to die faster. Yeah. So it's not really a massive disadvantage in the game.
But he's a blodger.
He's on his last legs, but he's still a good piece.
Yeah, and he's got nerves of steel. I like that. I like that pickup, considering he comes with catch.
Yep.
A blodger, dauntless, nerves of steel. It is a reason to build a team around that sort of player.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome, Fake Nuts. He's saying he should do the all peasant build.
Yeah, I liked that build when I saw it. I think that would have been really cool to see. That would have been great.
Would have been good. Let's have a look at this disappointing team, the infant mortality.
Disappointing team.
I think we passed Dog. I mean, he made Show Pony the season before with his team.
Yep.
And then that ill-fated dodge with the werewolf.
That was the Claw Mighty Blow.
Claw Mighty Blow, piling on.
Yep.
First game back, turn 2 or turn 3, killed himself.
2 doubles gone on a player
one of the best players in the game, a werewolf.
With regen.
Yeah. He just rolled.
You would be kicking yourself.
He rolled 6s everywhere until the regen and just went, nah, we've had enough.
Oh.
But his team's looking great.
It is, yeah. I'll let you run with this. You play these guys a lot more than me. What do you think?
So he's got the 2 block. He's got a blodge. I love Revenge. Revenge is fantastic, and that's the only thing next to probably be Dauntless. on that werewolf.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I
Okay.
loved taking Dauntless on a werewolf. It was amazing, especially when you've got the whites with the guards. I always used it as a backup, so I would always have enough players that I could get a 1 die, and then use the Dauntless to give me the potential 2 die.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I would
That's
never
really good.
rely on the Dauntless, but it was always on a 2+ or 3+, I get 2 dies instead of one.
And a good safety net for a frenzy piece, I
Yep,
imagine.
yep, absolutely. Um, his team looks fantastic. Flesh Golem, both got block. That's so difficult to get. He's got a blodging white, fantastic, both with guard. Love it.
Mm.
And he's got a blodging ghoul. Dirty player and a wrestle ghoul. If I could build a team, this is how I would want it looking exactly. There's
Yeah.
no skill wasted. Every skill is absolutely top shelf.
Mm.
So I think 13 players. He's got the dirty player. I understand why he's got 13 players because he's going to do the dirty player run, and it
I'm
also
a
means he can keep a ghoul off the board if he needs to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
a 13 player. That's my almost any team. I want a minimum of 13 players. Even that's just me. Even when I'm playing an Armour 9 team, I get a bit chicken when I'm down to 11 players on the field.
I don't go past
It's
12.
yeah, not into it.
No, that's even when I played this team, the Necros. I don't think I really went past 12.
Nah,
Um,
it's just a safety net for the unlucky games for me. Like if when you lose 3 players in a game or something, it means you're down to 10 instead of with a team where they're only 40k for a zombie.
yep.
The games of the region doesn't work basically. That's the games you're going to want to have an extra player. But the majority of the games, it's probably going to be waste. Unless you foul like a madman, right?
That's it. And I guess it depends. And it's a very good point you make, which is you're building on the fact that if you don't need them, great, you're probably going to win the game. But if you're losing, you've got the backup guys that you're never losing that quantity on the field.
Yep.
Where my mindset always was, and it's one that I've listened to Luca talk about, and that is how much I've got sitting on the bench. If I've got
Yep.
a certain TV, for example, that's 80 TV I'm not utilizing and potentially giving to my opponent towards a wizard.
Yeah. That's a probably good example of this. What's the TV difference? About 200?
220.
220. So
220,
if he dropped to, what would he be down to?
that's 80.
Down
Um,
to 1460.
it still makes him pay. It's only because Compa rate's absolutely bashed to bejesus.
To fall into pieces, yeah.
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 But
That,
it's one of the reasons why I never picked up the third reroll for Chorfs. That 70
yep,
TV is half a wizard.
that's very true. It's very true. It's it's a good call, and
It's risk management, isn't it? It's the two sides of the coin, which way you want to go.
yeah, I guess both are risk management really. It's just different ways to look at it.
Hey,
Um,
Saxon. But I think you're right. I
yeah,
think I don't mind it. As you said, it's only 80k, which is effectively one elf on the bench.
yep,
So
yep,
it's really about par. So 13 with a dirty player, I think it's about right with ghouls and zombies. I'm happy with that. I think Infant's going to win this though. I think he's got. I think Cumprade's just. I think Citric's just going to go out, try and kill as many people with him as possible.
yep.
And but the worst thing is, if Citric wins, Citric needs to win not to play again. If Citric loses, he has to play again.
Yeah, let's have
So
a look at this. Um, what's the factor for me? I think on a normal game with a wizard, I'd probably consider Zids, but this is potentially a 3-turn drive if they both score in one turn.
yep,
So I'm going to back the team with Regen as well. Regen, 13 players,
with a dirty
um,
player.
dirty player on the field.
Yep,
I'm going to go with Pass Dog on this as well. I think
yep,
by the time we've gone through 16 turns, if they're evenly placed,
yep.
Pass Dog's going to be in a better spot.
Pass dog is.
Yeah, yeah. 13 players regen.
Oh
If we
yeah,
go
yeah.
into overtime, he's going to be players up.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you were trying to say it the other way around. Yeah, you're right. He's got the
Nah,
13
nah.
players. No
I'm
draws
thinking
allowed.
two turn. I might have changed my mind if it was a normal game,
Yeah.
because the wizard can only be used once.
Yep. And if he
Um,
uses a lightning, yes, he might. He'll probably lightning a werewolf, which is
yep.
hit revenge, like just tap him like sexy Ned Flanders, and
Yeah.
um, and try and get him out quickly. Um,
I'd be hitting that goal if he was carrying the ball.
the sure hands
Sure hands
blodge, yeah.
goal. No regen.
But
Um,
can he recover it? Because he's going to have the two golems. He's going to have werewolves. He's going to have wights with guard around it. And
yep.
this is the problem. The wizard can hit you. Great. It's in a cage. All right, if it's in a cage, you throw a fireball. Flip a coin, isn't it? The fireballs will either blow up everything or take out the back corner, which you don't need.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Zids does have the guard advantage.
Yep.
He's only down 2 points in strength, so they're reasonably even as long as Zids' players stay on the field. I think
And I
that's
don't
going to
think
be
it
the
will.
difference.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, well, Storm Saxon's on evening. Let's have a look at his team, I guess. Let's see what we've got. Um, didn't this team come like 0
Yeah,
and
he
5?
I think so. First season, I remember I was really impressed. Storm Saxon
Made show
made the
pony.
playoffs with Rookie Chaos, which was
Yep.
really amazing. Really good achievement. Um,
And
this
they
team's
just went
looking,
pear shaped. Just have a
yeah,
quick look at his history. 3, 1, and 8. So, yep, lost. So what are you up against? He lost to Orcs, lost to Eagles. He did a draw against Demonic Shredders.
that's just the AI team. That
AI
was
team.
just a. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, yep. He lost to the Pedos, and he upset. He lost to the Mages. So yeah,
Yep.
he did lose them all, unfortunately. But let's have a look at a quick look at his team. Chaos
I've
Warrior.
been playing a lot of Chaos lately. I like this. This is.
I'll let you take the lead then. I can't stand Chaos. So
So we
talk
were
us through
talking
it.
before about. So my theory on Chaos is 4 players with Claw and Mighty Blow.
Yep.
Is for me what I'm aiming for. So 2 Chaos Warriors and usually 2 Beastmen. The reason for this is I'm looking to get 4 Claw Mighty Blow hits on the line. So what that looks like with Storm Saxon is he does have 2 players with Claw Mighty Blow and 2 players with um, Mighty Blow, and another one with Claw, which will be handy against dwarfs. So he's going to get 4 good hits on the line if he
Yep.
hits first. He's overpriced by 70k, so he can drop that down to 1450 or get a replacement player or bench player and stick around about the same TV. So I think TV-wise they're looking pretty even. We don't have to worry about a wizard. I will need to see the dwarf team to see how much guard they've got, because that may be one place where he's at a bit of a disadvantage. But from memory, this dwarf team is a little bit lacking in guard.
Here's one for you though, just to jump in.
Yep.
You got 220, right? You've got 11
Yep.
players because you're missing one.
Yep.
Yet your TV is still lower than the dwarves.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough. Get yourself a wizard, do you reckon?
Well, you can only scum 40.
Yeah. If he drops down to 1450, if he just
That's
flushes
exactly.
70k,
Get 1450. That's
he's
140
got a wizard.
for 10k.
Yes. Yeah, so he can. Maybe you just. A wizard against dwarfs is amazing. Maybe you
Of
just
course.
stay there.
Yep.
Yeah, you might be right. You flush the cash, or you don't flush the cash. I think you'll end up using about the same amount of cash anyway.
Yeah, but I think you need to flush the cash to allow, because you can only spend 40 scum 40.
Yeah, I think you can spend it if it's.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's your second, isn't it?
It's basically the same thing. It's like this other. It'll be alright to spend that cash. You
Is
could
it-
do.
Yeah.
Because I think it just shows up as. I'd have to look at that. He may just have to flush it. You're right.
I think you might need to flush it.
Yeah, I'll
But
check that.
what is it? He needs to flush 70, which will. Well, you might as well just buy a Beastman
Yeah, I mean,
because you'll
if
still keep the
he
15-20. Nah, then you're only 70 behind. No, you
he'd
can't
need
do
to
it.
stay at 11 players.
Yeah.
He'd need to flush the cash, and then he should be able to achieve it. But that's
So what's better, 12 players against dwarves or 11 players and a wizard?
well, I think for me, I don't even know. I
Yeah,
can't tell you. It's if you get to hit first, then you're going to be able to eat. There's a good chance with 3 claw pieces, he can
and
even the odds before the game even starts. If he gets to hit first and he gets a wizard, this is Storm Saxon's game, most
yeah,
likely. He's got every chance to win this game.
but he's got
If
no
he,
ball skills here. He's lost his
yeah,
multiple hands. There's no sure hands. No,
what do you do if you take the wizard and you lose 2 or 3 players in the first few hits?
it's a gamble. Yeah,
that's
that's it,
it's
isn't
going
it?
to be painful. Yeah, I don't.
I think
I
though,
feel it's
if
a
you're going
tough
to say
choice.
that, again, if you're losing 3 of your players, what's that spare guy going to do? He's not going to help you during that fight, is he?
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, a wizard is effectively 2 players.
It
So
is.
if we look at it this way, he could buy 2 beastmen and still sit about the same TV. So he could run a 13 team, which is how I play chaos. I play
Yep.
13 player
13
team.
players.
Yeah, if I lose a player or 2 or 3 on the line of scrimmage, I'm not done. And then if I'm not playing another Core Mighty Blade team, chances are I'm going to be able to even up the numbers as the game goes.
Yep.
And if I don't lose the players, you can foul as well. It gives you an extra
Ooh.
option there to remove some more. Um, that'd probably be how I would do it. I'd probably drop the wizard, and it probably is wrong, but I really don't like it when I'm playing numbers
Down
down
players.
against dwarfs.
So you'll go for the two. You'll go for the big bench against dwarves because you, as you
I,
said, you've got
I
the
take
4
big bench.
claws. You got the 3
Yep.
claws, the 3 mighty blows, 4 mighty blows. And
Basically,
as
I
Saxon said,
see.
we're going to see a death roller. And you're right. Storm Saxon is looking at the 13 players at the moment, or he could just be saying that to throw off his opponent who might watch this.
He
So
could. Yeah, that's. I think that's how I would do it. I don't know if it's the right choice, but I do. Yeah, for more players,
uh,
I prefer to have a bench.
so more players for you. Let's have a look and see what he's actually up against. I guess that might be a deciding factor. Because hello, Mr. Death Roller.
Ooh, that's
So
gonna be fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he's got 12 players, including the Death Roller.
Mm.
He's only got 2 guard. A Blodge Troll Slayer. It's a very weird dwarf team, this one, but
I've
he
looked at this
uses it
team a little
well.
bit. Yeah, he does. I played them, so I spent a little bit of time looking at it, and what I've kind of come to the conclusion is, if you look at where the double rolls or stat up rolls came in, they came very early.
Yeah.
He's just done what a lot of us will have done, which is taken the good stat up rolls as they come in, and the disadvantage is he's down a little bit of guard.
Yep.
Um,
Of a
but I
blitzer
can't say I would.
agility. Agility on a
Yeah,
blitzer, you take that, don't you?
I mean that's his second skill. The first one, the first blitzer, that was his first skill, and then sidestep, that's another double. So that's double double plus edge is the first skill. Troll Slayer double was the first skill. It's This team will be amazing next season. He just needs a little bit of guard.
Unless someone who plays Chaos fucks it up.
That's right. Here's a question though, because I didn't even think about this as a factor. Does Storm Saxon have any tackle?
No.
Because that's 2 blodgers, and
Nope.
one of them is potentially the ball handler. Well, that's interesting.
Yep, no, he's literally got block, mighty blow, and claw. That's the only 3 skills he's got.
So if the ball gets into the hands of that blodger, you'd be wanting to hit it with a Minotaur for the 3 die for a better chance to take it down. But
So
that
maybe
would
the
be,
wizard would be useful against 2
yeah,
blodgers.
maybe, yeah. That's. I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to come down to whether the dwarf armor holds. If the dwarf armor holds, Joel can do it. If the armor doesn't hold, then which I have a feeling that the Claw Mighty Blow is going to work for Storm Sax in this game. It
He's
always
got
seems
enough
to
of
against
it.
Dwarfs.
He's got enough of
Yeah.
it too. He's not relying on just one or two pieces. He's
Mhm.
got 3 or 4 pieces that can do it. And as Saxon just mentioned, only 2 guard to really worry about.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
got the Minotaur. He's got the 4 Chaos Warriors.
So he's up on strength, except for when that death roll is on the field, which is only going to be 1 drive. The
One
rest of
drive.
the game, he's going to be 4 strength 4 pieces, 1 strength 5 places,
Yep.
versus all strength 3. Yeah, I'm back in Storm Saxon for this game.
I think so
Um,
too. I'm going to go. It's going to be a batch fest, and I think he's brought the bigger gun, a
yep.
bigger club for him.
The claw,
The
the
claw, a very
the
big. He's
scalpel
yeah,
or the bat.
the baseball bat with spikes in it,
He
nails
has,
actually, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yes, Storm Saxon's team's really coming together, and I think next season's going to be a good season for him.
Yeah,
They're really coming together.
they're looking good. He
Yep.
can only really go up though, isn't it? 0 and 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Nowhere to go but up.
Broganetti, all dwarves must die, says the Wood Elf player. Alright, so what have we got here? Let's have a look. I've got Grave Consequences and Good Vibrations coming up first.
Grave consequences. Indeed.
Details. Welcome, Brog, by the way. Good Vibrations, let's have a look. High Elves.
Rough season for Bowen from memory. I think he's had a bit of a rough one. That's not as bad as I
Oh,
thought.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 players. Yep, it's definitely been a rough one. Someone's going to have to do a bit of pre-season. But he's got some fantastic players.
Yeah, I think he's just lost the lineman, which is absolutely fine. He's got this. Maybe I can't remember if he used to have an extra catcher.
He's still got
You'd
that
probably
fucking
want one
movement
more.
player.
Yeah. I don't mind with Elvis playing with 7 or 6 players if they look like this. These are some good looking players.
So what have we got? We've got a good thrower. Is that kick on the thrower? Yep.
It is. It's kick on the thrower.
Kick on the
Yep.
thrower. We've got a wrestle, tackle. So he's got a ball sacker there with his catcher. Looks like a guard dodge. I don't mind that. That's pretty good.
3 guard pieces, 3 doubles.
Nice. So that's probably why he's 1230 TV with just 7 players.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's
So-
another 210, 71 40,
Yep.
210.
2
So he's actually
stat-ups.
40 and 40.
Yep. 2 stat ups and 3 doubles. 4 doubles because he's got Mighty Blow in there as well.
Yep. But yeah, good looking team. Just needs to get some cash, which is not unusual for high elves to replace the players.
I love
at some
Pussy
point.
Destroyer. Blodge, Leap, Agility 5. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who is he up against?
50. That is the undead. So they're at
The Grave
1380.
Consequence.
70k difference at the moment.
I'm so happy that Pickle has made it to the sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
That man has deserved at least getting out of that bottom group. So I'm
Yep.
stoked that he's into this. Let's have a look. 1 tackle. That's going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Dirty play.
Yeah,
He's got a
Mighty
wrestle.
Blow.
He's got a
Yeah,
wrestle.
And I hate saying this, but some games it's true and sometimes it's not. Frenzy is like half a tackle sometimes.
Yeah.
If you use it right, you can kind of make up for the lack of tackle sometimes, as long as you can make sure you get 2 hits. With 2 dice, that's 4 chances to get a POW. So you can kind of make up for the tackle. It's not as good as tackle, but
It's also another chance to roll double ones, isn't it?
it is another chance. It's not as good, but having 4 chances to get a POW out of 6 is not terrible, as long as you make sure you get 2 dive like on the second hit. Wrestle piece as well. Wrestle Skelly.
Dirty player.
Yeah.
It's bash versus dash. So, so what do? If you're Pickle, you try and defend first. force them to do a touchdown, or do you take the ball first and try and just pummel the bejesus out of them?
Mm, it's a tough one. I think I'd want to put the damage in early. Um, I used to be someone that would, when I play Bash, do defense first versus
Yeah,
edge, and I do think it is definitely a good strategy. Um, High elves can be tough because they can kind of sit back a little bit.
with
So
the
if they
passing
sit,
game.
yeah, you kind of sit back with the quarterback position, wait for them to come to you. If they take too long getting there or they over commit, you can then sneak past and stall out at the back half as well.
Yeah.
So high elves can stall in the right game quite well. Um,
The
I,
thing
I
is
think
though,
I think the elves will take this. There's just not enough tackle
nah,
um,
because Undead
to
will
really
need to
stop
score
them.
twice effectively, because you're not stopping the high elves from scoring.
Yeah.
They're going to score
Yep.
once at least, which means if you need to win, you either got to make him score early, um, and try and do that, what was it, 12, 13 turns of grinding for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. The
But he's
thing that
got those.
makes me the thing that makes me think is Bowen is good. I know he's just had a lot of unlucky games this season, but he is very talented.
Oh, of course he is.
Um, so
Oh, no, I mean, sorry, that seems
yeah,
sarcastic. No, he actually is. And
yeah,
I think he's copped those injuries because he is aggressive and he is getting the
yep.
ball turnovers. So if you do make a mistake, he will come in, and he's shown that he's probably not afraid to sacrifice some players.
Players, yeah. I think I think I'm going to go high elves, but at quite a high cost.
Yeah, I think so too. He'll win the battle, but will it cost him the war?
Yeah, what's he got left next game?
Yeah.
That'll be a tough one.
Um,
Yeah.
Mage and Greendale. Let's have a look.
Ooh, I'm
Mage. We'll
gonna.
do mages first. Mages. There they are. Details.
I'll let you run with this one. I don't want to give all my secrets away.
No, you're right. I understand. You're in a bit of trouble. I like his list. I do like it. He's got. Ooh, you're missing a Strength 5 Chaos Warrior. That's right.
Yep.
Chaos Strength 5 Chaos Warrior. No one tackle. So that's always good for you. And here's another player that just went character upgrade. Yes, please. I'll take the strength. I'll take the movement. I'll take the agility.
Yep.
He's got some mutant stuff. 15 players though, man. I don't know. He's down to
This is
14. I would
any other
definitely
game.
lose.
I would say this is a disadvantage. This is not good team on the pitch. With goblins, you're already going to be up against a team that's like I'm using my players to try to take your players off with secret weapons.
Yeah,
Even if I succeed,
yeah,
you've got more on the bench. This is
yeah,
probably the game where having 14 players on, is probably not a waste because even if all my secret weapons work and I do take them down, um, you've got more.
yeah.
You've taken away the biggest advantage for the goblins.
But
But
what's
you
the
have
TV
given me
price? 360. So I'm just having a look at your list now. So not
no
shown in
rip.
that picture is Ripper.
Yeah, we know Ripper's in. That's a guaranteed. I'm
Yep.
not gonna lie.
No. So where you go? Okay, you've pretty much just gone low TV. You've picked up a wrestle on the goblin. That's a good pickup. A blodge sidestep, perfect. And then the rest of the goblins, it's we don't care. Just
Yep.
the one fanatic, just the one loony, one bombardier. Um, loony.
This is actually full. This is everything you can get with goblins.
You don't have
Um,
the bounty guy. Oh no,
oh
that's the
yeah,
loony.
yeah, minus the pogo.
Pogo. Yeah,
Um,
you're missing the pogo.
I'm not convinced he's a good use of TV.
Yep.
Although I was missing the movement. I'm thinking about him as we come into a higher TV build for next season. I might
Yep.
think about getting him.
Or
But
play
for the first few
Plutonians.
seasons, yeah.
Um,
Um,
look. It's going to come down to. Oh, look at this. You got a. No, I came out wrong. Look, goblins are goblins, aren't they, mate? If your secret weapons work, if those that Looney can catch a couple of his players, good
Yep.
times. But he's got the strength to push him back. The Fnatic, sorry, the Fnatic. I always get those two mixed up. He's got the
Yep.
strength to actually get that Fnatic out quickly
Yes.
with a
That
one
is
die.
big disadvantage of the Fnatic.
Yep.
Definitely.
Um,
If you're willing to commit the players to taking him out, it can be done. And
yep.
if I leave him in a silly spot, you can take him out pretty easily.
And I'm expecting a few bribes to go with that Looney. I mean, the armor cracking is going to be fantastic with the chainsaw.
Mm.
Um, look, it's a tough one. I'm probably going. I'll play the devil's advocate here. He's got no tackle.
Doesn't he have one
Uh,
tackle?
he's got one on a beast. I think this is the same as the previous game we saw. You know, Bash versus Dash. If if he can get if he can crack your armor, if he can get a few of your guys out quickly,
Mm.
it's just going to steamroll. But you've always got the one turn touchdown sort of thing, which I think if you get to the overtime, it probably will help you more. But it's going to be tight. I think you can run past him, and it's going to cause some grief, but it's also going to be hard. I'm going to go chaos. I'm going to go
Yeah,
chaos.
that's a safe choice.
Yeah,
Look, if it was me and basically any coach playing stunties versus any other coach, I'd be inclined to go for the not stunty
yeah.
coach. So I would probably agree. That's who I would put my money on. Would be the coach not playing goblins.
uh,
But yeah, I think the thing is some games they go well. Just
yeah.
who knows if this will be one of those games or not.
That's it, isn't it? And that's why it's so hard to pick it. It's if goblins pull it out, you can't stop them. It's
Yeah.
like I played Snotlings on the tabletop, and he did two one-turn touchdown attempts and got them both. I'm like, fuck. What?
Yeah, that's hard. It's
What
hard to
can you?
stop.
Yeah, what can you do against that? There was nothing.
No.
Um, I'm still going to go. I think he might out attrition you. I think he might just suffer a little bit too much,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I would be agreeing with you there. I'm hoping not, but that's probably who I put my money on as well.
I don't think you can get more. Blake was asking if you can get more Gen Ripper, but I think you haven't got quite enough.
Morg is quite
Yeah,
expensive.
he's
So
ridiculous.
Ripper's 270. So that's almost all the difference in
Yeah.
cash.
So
And I don't think I got a home game. No, so I won't be able to get him for 220. I may be able to get Morg. I'd have to have a look. What's he at, like 380 or something?
something big. It's just under 400.
Yeah. I just like Ripper because I like Ripper now. There's no logic to it.
No, Ripper suits it.
Yeah, he's good fun.
I'm
He
going
looks
to
cool.
skip the next game. I'm going to go straight to Orcs versus Fellas Cowboys because I think the game after that is the game of this group. So,
Yep.
Orcs. Now, it depends on which bloody hedgehog turns up. If it's hedgehog that wants to play serious, you're in a lot of trouble. If it's
Yeah.
hedgehog that goes fucking YOLO, in whatever that is in Russian, um, it's going to be a little bit harder. Like, I've seen him just go, you know what, let's try something fun.
I haven't seen that hedgehog for a while. I've seen
I
a
said,
guy that seems to be performing.
oh, he's
Lately.
performing, but I've seen a few times where he just goes, you know what, this will be hilarious.
And we love that. That is
Oh,
good.
it was hilarious. It cost him, a good turnover or something, but it was hilarious. I'll give him that much. Tackle. He's got two tackle. He's got a tackle mighty blow. So on a blitzer, fantastic. Tackle frenzy, as you said, that's great against the Wood Elves.
It is. That's gonna be a huge piece.
Sure hands block agility for thrower. Beautiful. So he's got a good anti-war
probably-
dancer.
He's probably picking up the ball easier than
Brogs.
Rob potentially
Yep.
as well if he doesn't have a shorthand space.
He's got a Black Hawk with guard to back him up. Blitzer, I like this one. The Blitzer with grab just helps that sideline a lot.
Yeah, that's an interesting piece. That is an interesting piece.
Yeah, grab comes back for the
I would-
foul.
Yeah, if you run them in tandem.
Yep.
I probably would have liked to see guard on that first, and maybe that is a second skill. just for the same reason. You can run them in tandem, have the extra guard piece there, but that
You
that would work well if used in the right way.
just need a goblin
Um,
with a dirty player to stand behind him.
push him back and then just put the bird in your hand.
Yep.
Why
Um,
not?
it's Orcs, isn't it? Orcs bash. He's got the skills he needs. I don't think there's anything really wasted. A movement 5 Orc, which is now standard. So
Yeah, there's two things that could work well. Um, I think it's going to be hard to beat the Woodies, but what I'm seeing is one turn potential, but
yeah,
no kickoff return. So the only way that one of the big advantages that could work for Hedgehog Hero is the chance to one turn and even the odds.
yep,
But I'm pretty sure Brog has kick, so I just played him last week.
yep,
So he can kick that deep, and you can't pick up and pass and then do the one turn. So a
yes.
lot of that troll gobbo advantage has just been negated by kick.
Unless it moves
Not
into the center, because like all my kicks.
yeah, not all the time, but just a
Yeah,
good percentage of the time. With the movement 5 piece without kickoff return,
yeah.
um, it's
You're
gonna
right. So yeah, the kick
it's
will cancel it out.
you'll have to set up like a lot of if you want to do one turn, he needs to set up like a lot of the blitzers at 8 pieces back, and
Yep,
just be willing to pick up and do 2 GFIs with him. That'll increase the chance of it, but decrease the chance of it actually working.
yep.
Um, Kickoff return would negate that as the next skill. That would take the one turn to another level.
Yep.
Um, but
He
yeah, I
does
think
have. He's got kick himself, which means well,
yeah,
he
he can
can't do the
kick.
one
Yeah,
turn. He could kick to the front and force the very quick early touchdown from the Wood Elf. So do the
yeah,
short kick. And
yep,
because you've got kick, you can really set up on that side and the middle, and
yeah,
effectively not have to spread as much with that kick, and go right. We're playing in this little corner, protect it, and if he puts all his players forward, then you kick it back, and he's got all his players forward. You can then man up with him. So
definitely. He can. I mean, he can one turn if he gets a blitz or he gets a chance to run it in. Um, 2 guard pieces, but a lot of extra strength. It's just bash versus dash, really, isn't it?
that's it. So
Um, it
let's see the dash. You're right. It's bash versus dash, and I think there's a lot of that this round. Um, and it's a beautiful looking dash. 1660 dash.
mm,
He's got his
not
tree
enough
man
for a wizard,
finally.
is it? What do we got?
1660,
70,
1590.
70k.
Yeah, nah, nah.
Yeah, maybe a chainsaw. Can he sneak a chainsaw in there?
Let's have a
70k
quick
difference,
look.
just short. You might have to drop a
1, 2,
goblin
3, 4,
if he
5,
wants to
6,
do
7,
that.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's got 14 players. I would definitely
Okay.
drop one.
Yeah, I'll drop a gobbo, probably, right?
Drop a gobbo, go for the wizard.
Just keep him on the bench the whole time.
Yep,
Yeah, if that would make a huge difference,
yep,
really.
I think so.
Um, yeah, that's another.
Yep.
That's a good question. If he
Uh,
does that,
well, we've just pointed out that the one turn touchdown with him having kick is not on the
mm,
cards as it could have been.
yep,
So drop a gobbo. You've still got 12 or 13 players against Wood Owls, which you don't need.
yep,
Get the wizard, zap. Have a good day.
yeah, that's probably a good plan.
Um,
Yeah,
Strength 4 linemen. The catchers and the war dancers look fantastic. Agility 5 catcher with guard.
yeah, he's going to be hard to stop.
Johnny Deep.
That's a cage diving catcher with
Yep, with a war dancer.
guard. That is a frightening combo with a.
Yep,
He can literally just dive in. You have to be very careful of that piece.
yep, Johnny Deep and
Um,
Dickersprin working in tandem. Have a good day. Great names. Brog,
Leonardo DiCaprio
DiCaprio,
and
yep,
Johnny Depp.
and John
Yeah.
Kitsack. Love it.
He
Uh,
had 2 tackle pieces, right? One with Frenzy, one with
yep,
Body Blow.
yep,
So he can damage some of these
he
pieces
can.
here reasonably easily.
But
Um,
the fellas Cowboys can just turn that ball over.
They can. And the Orcs will be slow to recover.
Yep.
They don't have a huge amount of extra guard. Brog's going to be able to switch it up from one side of the field to the other.
Yep.
Um,
And just leave that Treeman in the centre as an anchor. Doesn't even have to activate him.
nah.
And just block tackle zones.
Yeah, and if you make the mistake that I made last week and throw players in to take the tree down,
We all do it.
you're happy.
We all
you're
do
happy.
it. Yep.
It's, yeah.
And then the fucker just
have-
goes stand firm and you're like, oh, I regret every moment of my life.
Now, I think this will be Brog.
Yep.
I think it will be a tough game in particular if he does take that wizard, which could throw a spanner in the works.
Yep.
But yeah, 3 turns. If Brog plays a bit of a Blake, potentially, and plays quite aggressive, I think, especially if he can play aggressive enough to stop the Orc cage forming,
Yep.
could get an early advantage and just walk through. If he
3
cages
strength
up,
2 players.
if the Orcs cage up, stall effectively,
Yep.
and then have a wizard on defense, that could be another game though.
And that's it. The coin toss is going to be a big one.
Mm.
I'm with you though. I think the dash is going to outdo the bash on this one. But again, just like we said with the high elves, at what cost? Because I think he's going to cop something in that game.
Yeah, especially you get hit with a fireball with 4 or 5 players in there after be hitting mighty blow tackle, 16 turns in a row. Some of these players aren't coming back next week.
Well, he lost a vast majority of them, but they were all just badly hurt, which was okay.
Yeah.
Which leaves us to the big one, Dubs Matt, coming off his Gold Rush 3rd place with his green team, Lizards. 1400, he's still got...
Very tight. Very tight.
It is.
Considering he's got all the main positionals there.
Not much skills though, I think, is where... He's finally got block on his megaphone. So strength 5 block Lizard now. 6519. Fantastic.
When I look at this, do you know what I see? Skills on the right pieces.
Yeah.
This is something you don't often see when it's a random MVP. Reasonably unskilled skanks with skilled Sauruses.
Yep.
This is a Lizard player's dream.
Yep. It's taken a long time to do it.
Yep. That's your selected MVP on Lizardmen's after 2 seasons. It's it's exactly what I would have done.
Yep.
Still
only 3 block. He's got a wrestle, which is not too bad. So, 4 of his 6. And I think even in tournaments, that's generally what you get, isn't it? 2 of them are normally naked anyway.
Yeah. How many has he got naked? He's got 1.
2.
1, isn't it?
Well, the other one hasn't got block. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the break tackle wrestle piece. That's a fun piece for me that I think could work really well. See that bottom Saurus there?
Yeah, I've got him. Mega Bliss. I was also looking at the break tackle block Groxigor.
Yeah, that's huge. That can cage dive.
That can do whatever the hell it wants. Well, he's aptly named Godzilla.
Yeah,
he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
This is a good-looking Lizardmen team. It's only 1400 TV.
Yeah, with the 3 rerolls. I love the sidestep diving tackle, the movement on Rusty.
So, Sibby, whatever her name is only, I think she's under 300. How much of a difference is he playing against?
Yeah, so we're having a quick look. So he's 1400 versus, where are we? The Southern Prize, 1650. So he's got 250.
I'm gonna have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure he can actually get an extra Saurus, which if you've ever played Lizardmen is huge. That's 8 pieces that you can cover 3 skinks with. It's a lot easier. Slibby, whatever her name is, I think she's under 300.
Silby, yeah.
Yeah. I think she's about 280. And she's really cost effective. She has guard, lock, strength 4.
Well, he can do it. If it's 280, he can spend 30. But hang on a second. Oh, he's got 130k as well, so he's fine. While you're doing
Um,
that, I'll have a quick look at the dwarves for the people online. This is just, I'm so glad he's not in Show Pony. One,
yeah.
two,
Oh, is
three,
that all
four,
the all
five,
the?
6, 7, 8, 9 guard.
Oh yeah, that's hard to
Mate,
deal with.
you think
That
18
is.
naked cowboys were jizzing a lot? It's just looking at this dwarf list. Look at all that guard.
As someone who does enjoy playing dwarfs quite a lot, this gets me a little bit hard, eh?
It's
Look at this.
oh mate, you just
Four.
see that's a multiple orgasm list right there.
Yeah, this
It's
is a good-looking dwarf team, eh?
yep,
It's
Lodge
completely the
tackle.
opposite to the other dwarf team. There's no stat ups.
No,
It's just dwarfs doing what dwarfs do,
yep,
plus crazy passing.
he went and he did the right thing. He did the mighty blow on the troll slayers first. He's
Yep.
gone for the mighty blow on. So yeah, he's gone guard first. So basically, the generic guys guard followed by mighty blow. The positionals mighty blow followed by guard. Perfect. Broganetti, it's fucking gross. Two
I think I
two
think
rerolls.
Sylvie's about 250, 250-ish
Then he
on
gets that straight
fumble.
away.
So yeah, that should be huge. I think he only had 10 pieces though. I think if he can get that piece, that's going to be huge. But I don't think it's enough to take on this much guard.
Nah,
I'm
the
going to have
guards.
to go. I'm thinking about this too much to whistle the other team. You can't beat that much guard. Not unless you
Especially
can dodge out of it, or it's going to be very hard.
just the troll slayers, dauntless with that guard. Just as I was talking about with my werewolf,
Mm.
he'll set it up so it's always four. He'll have an extra guy there, hit the dauntless, becomes two straight up. So he only needs to do
Yep.
two people to get two die instead of three people with that dauntless.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
so efficient, and with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tackle. Good luck, Skinks.
Yeah. I would like to see Matt do this. I really hope Matt has a cracker of a game because um, I enjoy watching him play, and I think he's just getting
Yep,
better
he's getting
every
better and
game.
better each. Yep, but that's
Each
why
game, yeah.
I called that one. That's why I called that one the game of that round. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but I don't know. I couldn't see a way myself to beat that much guard easily without spending some time looking at it.
You have to
It's going to
split
be
them
tough.
up. You've really got to split them up. You got to get them wide.
Yep.
Like all that guard's fine if they're backing each other up. If they're
If
not,
they're spread across the field, yeah.
your strength 4 to their strength 3, even with the guard on them, you can still bully them if you can get them on a one-on-one, because they can't really dodge out.
No, that's true.
So
That's true.
it's
Split
going
them
to
up.
be a big positional game, and I think it's going to be whoever starts dropping a player who can crack armor first, because if he can crack a couple of those guards, he will lose a few on the table. There's
Yeah.
less coverage, and then you can start picking off your strength
How
4
do you how do you spread 9 pieces with guard though? Like, do
skinks.
you tie up
You
one
thread
with
it.
each sword?
Well,
Yeah.
you do. You try. You can use your skinks to run it behind them. You're going to have to
Yep.
pull a few guys back.
Mm.
You can't just let a skink in the background.
Yeah.
So if that pulls one or two guys back, suddenly you've taken two guard out for two skinks. You've still got, what did we say, 7 players with strength 4 plus
Yep. Yeah, that's
against
true.
9
You've got the strength
players.
advantage.
Yep, with 9 players with guard. So if you can move it out, and they can still do a 4 plus dodge out the skinks. Sorry, the sauruses.
Yeah.
So
And Matt does have no guard himself,
yep,
which is huge. So no guard. He will need to split up literally every single piece.
Yep.
Like you'll need to have a Saurus tied to every
oh,
guard piece.
you could
Almost.
2 sauruses to 3 dwarves with a good push. You might do a 1 die, but then you get a 2 die on the second one. So I think it's going to be a very good tactical battle, and it's going to be great to watch.
Break tackle might be huge. So if he does tie them up or comes in and has the ability to break out and put his Sauruses where he needs,
Yep.
that extra mobility on that Crocs and Saurus could come into play.
But
But
then you've got the Dauntless, haven't you? which
Yeah.
counteracts
There's,
everything we
there,
just said. So
yeah.
it's going to be
There's
good.
two ways. I think there is a way I can see that Matt would win it. The more I think about it, it's going to be basically survive the onslaught from dwarfs there too and let them stall.
Yep.
Manage to stall yourself using stunty,
Yep.
and or even let them stall and save a wizard so that they don't really have the ability to stall without risking, a good bomb. Or save the wizard for overtime if you can. Uh, there may be a way to do it, and it's probably not take that extra piece that I'm thinking about. It's probably take a wizard. Dwarfs do not handle a wizard well.
Nah, and if you can pop down 3 or 4 of them with guard, with a fireball,
Mm.
you have that turn where you push them, and that's where you can start doing the pushes. Because
Break
it'll
tackle,
take.
wrestle piece.
Yep.
After there's a hole, yeah,
They're
it can
most
be
likely
done.
stunned, so you got a second turn. Um, they can only move effectively 1 square after they get up anyway, so you can break them up like that. So I think the wizard is going to be necessary to
Yep,
even it out the guard, and it's going to be good.
you'd have to take the wizard. That would be taking that star player would be bad advice for this game. Yeah,
Yep,
it's huge against dwarfs.
it is. And then that leaves the Show Pony Cup, the best of the
Oh, the
best, the cream,
big event.
the
Yeah.
cream. And then there's a few other guys like me and Covey in there, but
uh, listen, this is a good season. Like
so so
some
we
some
managed to
good
get
teams in here.
with all our teams: Underworld, Kislev, High Elf, Vampire, Amazon,
Yep,
Wood Elf, Norse, Chorf. That's that's across the board, really, isn't it?
it is. It is. There's a good mix. This is going to be a really cool cup. Um, and I think for me, a quick shout out, especially to Luke Adrian, Blake, and Commie, who made it with some fairly tier 2, tier 3
Yep,
subpar teams. Really well played, guys.
yep,
And Matt for making his first one.
yep.
That's awesome. Really good work. Kyle's not easy at this TV either. Um, but I think your team's looking good, and everyone did really amazing to do here. But just special shout out to those guys who've taken challenging teams and made them work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's start seeing whose hearts are going to get broken in the first round. Nothing worse than going, I
Oh,
finally made it, and then you lose the first round.
who we got? Oh, we got the
Panties and
machine.
Pedro. Yeah.
Pedro. Ooh.
Oh,
So we
look,
we got the red die.
let's have a
Oh,
quick look at
Jesus.
him. But have a quick look at the touchdown because you would have to say that it's one of the favourites to win the whole thing again.
Yep.
But he's
Yep.
missing a guard stand firm. 1390. He's got 13 players. He's only going to have 12. His line women aren't as developed, so he's probably done the MVPs for the blitzes a lot.
He yeah, he went early for guard,
Yep.
which was pretty good. I think that's the main skill for Amazon for me is having guard on a few of them.
Sorry,
Um,
Pedro. I'm calling it Pedro, not pedo. I'm sorry. I'm a decent human being. Um, anyway, we'll have a look at the whole bunch of Mandalorians next. But
I just had a quick look over it. So one thing while we're looking at the team is keep in mind Kislev have no tackle. So keep this in mind. I guess what we're looking at Londo's team here.
no
Um,
tackle.
this is Amazon with no tackle is painful. Um, he's got a sure hands piece, so
Yep.
and he's got enough guard pieces to put one on either end
Yep.
and reduce it to a red die or one die block if he manages to jump a guard piece in there as well.
Yep.
So this is going to be a really hard game for Blake to
It is
play. Even
because I mean you've played Amazons. To beat Amazon,
I have,
you
yep,
really need to get attrition on because if they can work as a big team, like a unit,
yeah,
they're hard to stop. But if you start breaking them up, that's when they start falling down. Like
yep.
they don't have the players really. I mean they've got the blitzers, but they need
There's no
that guard.
stars. There's no stars on the
No,
Amazon team. You've got a team, and
that's
that's how
it.
you want to play them.
Yep.
Any player can die any game. you don't want to have one piece that's got 3 or 4 skills when you've got unskilled pieces like you would want on Chaos or someone else. You need
Yep.
to have each team at least a core 8 pieces,
Yep.
roughly leveling up together, which I think Londo's managed to do here. Three pieces for the line, so you're not as worried about them, but a core
Yep.
8 or 9 pieces skilled up together is a good way to develop the team.
1,
Um,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's effectively got 7 blodgers.
yep, yep,
Perfect. And that's what you
it
said, that
is.
8 players to work as a team. So
Yep,
he's got what he needs, and then those line women, they're the ones that when he's defending go on the line of scrimmage, or
yep.
sitting on the bench when he's not needing it.
Side steps for the sides on defense,
Yep.
and as catches for your slow turn, your 2 or 3 turn drives.
And the
Um,
the handoffs.
yeah, it's a good looking team.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He's
And
got yeah, he's got the tackle mighty blow piece as well, which you'll probably see. Blake will have a bit of dodge on the team, most likely. Yeah,
Lonro's on 11, 2, and 0. That's disgusting.
that's an amazing result. Um,
That's hat off and bras off for that one, isn't it?
that's
But
um,
let's have a look at the pedos. Let's see what he can actually do. We know what the Amazons have done.
yep.
Red dice. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So interesting. Also armor value 7 with a couple of 8s and 9s. Yep, more injuries.
And a 6, and maybe 6 that piece there,
But
running out.
look, these are some nice stat upgrades. A catcher 7347. Nice. A blitzer with guard, strength 4. So he's got a catcher. So basically, Michael Jackson jumps in
Yep.
with his guard, and then a
Yep.
strength 4 blitzer comes in right after.
Okay, so he does have his 2 die block there.
Yep.
He does have his 2 die block.
But
It's
no
just going to
tackle,
involve
no strip ball. You're really
2
gunning for that
leaps.
power.
Yeah, 2 leaps plus needing a 2 die block on a
Yep.
blodger. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely achievable.
No.
Um, I think for me, the game's going to be decided by the fact that there's no tackle, and that the hardest thing for me about playing Kislev is the fact that the team starts with no skills. So every dodge piece that Blake has here has cost him 20 TV,
Yep.
and he's up against a piece with tackle mighty blow. It's basically, it won't be wasted, but there will be moments where that will be wasted. And yeah, he doesn't have the same skill to counter it. Although the tame bear with a few 3-day blocks with mighty blow and block will help. I think attrition wise is going to go the Zon's way.
But the quick
And
touchdown
then,
is definitely the pedo.
yeah,
They can do the
although he does
2-turn
have
touchdown.
Amazons do take 3 or 4 turns to score, pretty
Yep.
much guaranteed. But he should have a bit of TV in the bag as well, because Blake's going to throw another 120k in loaners at this.
Yep.
He's going to be at 1550.
Who would have thought
Versus,
that? Yeah, it's just so efficient, the Amazons.
yeah, basically the Amazons get a wizard.
Yep. Which
On,
is which seems
and
wrong,
they have
doesn't
more
it?
skills. They've got. It's just the build of the teams. At this TV, Amazons are very good.
Yep.
They can be countered by a bit of tackle, mighty blow, but
It's not here.
unfortunately, it's not here. And a lot of the things that people trips me up is the jump up. There's a few skills
Yes,
that
and
just won't
diving
trip up
tackle.
Lonro. Diving tackle. These won't catch out Lonro. They might catch me out on a game. They will and have
Yep.
caught me out before many a time. They won't catch out Lonro.
No.
He knows they're there.
Yeah, but that diving tackle, that is a tricky one.
It is.
They all look
Yeah.
the same, and then off you go. I'm going to say Amazon. I've got Brog saying that it's going to be 3-2 to Kislev, a bit of a shootout.
Yeah, they could definitely do it, and Blake is amazing with his team.
Oh,
It's just that
show pony.
it's that they could definitely do it. I'm going to go with you as well for the fact that no tackle
Yep.
and potentially up against a wizard. That's going to be hard to take on.
The funny thing is though, the winner of that game will be playing the winner of this next game, which is Chorfs and Underworld.
This is the one we're all here for, is it, Jella?
Uh,
The
Look,
Chorfs?
I'm going to say it now. My team's better than his, but he shits over me as a coach. So the great fucking even up there. I'll have a look
Jeez.
at Wong Fu Wizards first, and then I'll let you take over for the my
Yeah.
team.
Go for it, man.
Wong Fu, beautiful. 1420. A claw that doesn't work on a Warpstone troll.
Yep.
He's got his stat busted Skaven Strength 4 finally. But he's got an extra hands Strength 4 Skaven Thrower. So what's that? 744 now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's going to be annoying. He's got a Wrestle Tackle. So that tackle's not. The 2 tackles are not going to do anything against my team.
You don't have any dodge?
I don't think I've got dodge. I haven't been that fucking lucky. He's got 2 guard. Not enough guard, son. It's brought piss to a shit fight.
Who's your normal carrier? Are you using Ball Centaur or are you using
Nope, I've got a Hobgoblin. I'll show him later.
Yeah.
But he's got a
strength
beautiful.
4s could get a 2 die on you reasonably easily.
They could, but I've got 6 guard.
Oh, 6 guard.
So
6
good
guard,
luck.
yeah. Yep.
But so he's got the claws though. He's got 2 claws, and that blitz is amazing. Strength 4 Mighty Blow Claw, beautiful. I don't play against Underworld enough, so I'm not familiar with him. But he's got the goblins, which I've got my Chorfs, which I feel will be helpful.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of armor 7, and I've got 3 or 4 Mighty Blow now.
Yep. So armor 7, but he's also hitting you back with armor 7 with the claw mighty blow, right?
I've also got Claw Mighty Blow for his troll.
So is the TV reasonably even? Does Luca
let's
have
have
a
a
chance
look.
to get some reserves?
1420 to my 1390. So I'm actually below him.
Okay. The 11 pieces is going to be tough for him. No reserves.
No
potentially,
reserves, but he
does have
again
the cash to buy some.
he's 10k over. So he might pick up 1 or 2 more goblins, maybe. But he really can't do much. He can only really sack 10. So the worst case scenario, he sacks 10, gives me an extra 10 TV, or he buys a goblin and gives me an extra 20 TV. So I'm effectively plus or minus 20 TV below him on that one.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Luke's had the record that he has with this team is pretty astounding.
He's got the star players 50k less, but my TV's less. And he's 9-3-3.
He's got the home advantage.
Yep.
So that goes both ways.
But 50k. What can he buy for 90k then? Because he'll have to go first.
Yeah. Oh, so if he can't spend anything except for 40k, right?
Except for 40k, correct.
Yeah. And then anything he spends gives it to you.
Yeah, but he can't do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, he can buy a 90k star. I don't know what they've got there, but if they've got a star piece, they may have an option. But I don't think Luca will be spending...
He might be able to buy a chainsaw.
My guess is that Luca will buy a reserve. That's what I would do if I was Luca. I would not be wanting to walk in with limb players.
So that'll be 1440. That gives me 50. I just buy a babe and just call it quits there.
Yeah. Because you're 30k overpriced as well, are you?
I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I'm 30k over.
Yeah, you're on 11 pieces. There might be a bit of back and forth, I think, this
game.
I actually... and firing.
Always fun with us. I have lost a Chorf, so I'm up to my team now. I lost Astro Train. I might buy another Hobgoblin. I've only got 11 at the moment. Because I only go up 10k. Because I either sack 30k, and because I'm already under him already, it doesn't make too much of a difference if I buy that 12th player.
Yeah, I think both of you are going to want reserves. I feel like you're both going to buy a reserve, then you're both going to buy another reserve. That's the way I see this going.
It's most likely.
But
It's going to be fun. We're going to have to agree on the time and film each other spinning at the same time.
I think you just make sure you say, hey, look, I'll just tell each other when you. That's a if you anyone that's watching this, if you are having a little bit of a thing, just be upfront about it. Just
Yeah.
say, look, I've bought another player. Are you planning on doing anything? If you're planning on doing anything, can you let me know before we start spinning?
Yep.
It's all it takes. It's just a quick conversation. There's no need to kind of sneak it past someone. Um, just just tell them. If you're going to do it a couple of hours before the game, just give them a heads up and ask them to give you a heads up as well. I mean, if somebody asks you to give them a heads up and they don't do it, that's a dick move. You know what I mean? Like
But
it's
if you don't ask,
if you don't ask, it's another story.
I just want to
it's it
clarify
re-
that for the listeners.
yeah, it's
Um,
if you don't ask, I mean, generally speaking, I would say I wouldn't buy a player just before a game without informing the opponent. I wouldn't.
what about sacking a
Um,
player just to get the wizard and go under TV?
yeah, that's not how I would do it personally. That's not what I would
Yeah.
do.
But
But I understand everyone's different. But I would say generally, best way is just to give everyone a heads up if you are buying something last minute.
yeah, I don't think there's
Um,
going to be too much with us though in this game. As you said, there's not much playing around.
no, it's just whether you want reserves and what you
Yep.
can get with that cash.
So,
That 50k cheaper star player does make a big difference though. Whoever is down could potentially
oh
get
yeah,
Chainsaw
50.
for 80k. Chainsaw
What,
for 80k would be very appealing.
what if that gives me
Um,
130 if I don't buy?
yeah, so they're probably one of those ones where you want to be a bit more upfront and make sure everyone's happy before you play.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but yeah, if you give the opponent an 80k difference, that is a chainsaw, which could be huge in this game.
yep. Um, so yeah, that's my team. Again, mine's been a bit like the other dwarves. I've just gone for the basic build.
Yep.
I was fortunate to get claw twice. Nothing really else in there.
Yeah, that's a good. This is a good looking Chorf team. I like the block. I like the break tackle on the bull centaurs. Me and Joe were talking about that before. How it is a bit disappointing that break tackle's not going to be so good in 2020. But while it's here and while we've got the claw pom here, this team here is what 2016 is all about right now.
Yeah,
Claw mighty blow, break tackle, a bit of mobility. This is a great team. Um, the big weakness that I can see is the potential for these strength four pieces to hit that ball carrier. So that's probably the weak link here. You just need to keep him safe. If he can be kept safe, then I think your drive will go very well.
yeah,
And defensively, those ball centaurs are huge. As even though most of the games that Luca's going to be playing, he's going to have strength three pieces blitzing his ball carrier.
yep.
This game, it's a strength four piece, um, potentially, or tackle mighty blow piece with a lot of guard around it. So this is going to be a hard game for Luca. Um,
It is. I think
definitely,
he can outcoach me, definitely. But I think if I can
it's
catch his players, I think my build can perhaps do some damage to his build, more so.
yeah, yep, definitely. Your team has the advantage. I don't think you're questioning that. I don't think anyone will question the chops over Underwood on the TV. Although he does have two full mighty blow picks.
You're breaking up a bit, maybe a little
So
bit low there.
ah,
There you go.
basically it could go either way if Luca gets some early injuries. That'll be the key there using
That's
clawed
it.
mighty blow.
Yep. Whoever gets the first punch in, really, isn't it?
Yep. Otherwise, if nothing goes down, I think the guard's going to swing it your way.
I'm going to still tip the Wong Fu myself.
All right, I'm gonna go for Jawa on this one. I'm gonna go for overtime and
If we get to
the
overtime, I'm a master of draws. Let's do it.
That's right. Well, this is the chance to get it.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Uh, Woke and Highborn. Let's take this home, shall we?
That's
Highborn.
a big TV difference. Yeah. 1610, 1400.
Matt M. Here we go. Mr. M. I like this high elf build. It's nice, it's neat, it's clean, it's proper. A blodging
Yeah, this
thrower,
is
blodging 2 tackle blitzers, beautiful. This is what you would see in a tournament build, really, isn't it?
it's perfect. It's a really good build.
Strip ball,
Um,
wrestle, dodge to catcher. He's got his leaping agility 5 catcher, a
yep.
kick and a block. Perfect. Just wrap it up in a
This
nice
is
little bow. Take it home.
that's just a good looking high elf team.
Yep.
Reasonably TV efficient for where it's sitting.
Yep.
Um, will be 1470. He's just one player short.
Yep.
So he'll have one loner there. But yeah, overall, this is a really good, solid, classic build with a plus edge that we'd like to see.
Yep. Against the work blokes who are just TV hungry. Gobble, gobble, gobble. 16-10. 13 players. Look at all that block. Glorious. So he's got the wolf now with block and tackle. Fantastic. He's got a piling on berserker with tackle as well.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I've played this team and done pretty much exactly what Kobe's done once before. The thing that's interesting about this team is the Yeti. I think I would have waited a little bit longer to get him.
Yep.
That's what's pushing him over TV wise in these last few games.
Yep. I don't like him.
100. Yeah, it's a tough call because it gives you a claw mighty blow pace. But yeah, I played a season. Well, I had a very good season with Norse, and I went for almost 30 games. So the reason I took the Yeti was because I wanted the claw mighty blow places for later.
Yep.
Looking back, I still don't think it was worth it, even at that higher TV. He's really good when he works, but it's just so much TV at this level.
Disturbing
140k.
presence against high elf foe. Could.
Yeah, that could be big. You know, it's different to playing Nurgle because he's got to be in the right spot at the right time. It's not
Yeah.
spread across the whole field.
Yeah.
It is a good 9 squares covered.
Would
So
you
there's
drop
a
it?
good chance.
I would actually drop him. I would drop the
Yeah,
TV. That's a wizard straight up. You've got your 2 wolves with the block. You've got your piling on. You've got your blodger in the runner. You've got a strength 4. You've got an agility 4. I don't see what he actually brings other than liability
fun.
and TV.
I think that's the reason I put him in, and I think that's the reason a lot of people play him. It's not to be as efficient as possible. It's a fun piece to have on the pitch.
I don't play for fun.
I can understand. Yeah, if Kobe was to drop that piece, I think this would be potentially his game.
Yep.
With that Yeti on the field, and effectively giving a wizard to Matt, I think the High Elves could take it on the right day.
Yep.
But I'm still going to back Kobe. I think, just have a feeling this game that the frenzy is going to come into play a lot. We might get a few surfs.
Yep.
There's not. Yeah, I just have a feeling he's got the tackle on the mighty blow piece as well.
He's got
So
free
I think if
tackle.
it was,
It's fantastic.
yeah, this game basically, if it was me, I wouldn't really be using it at all, which is why I'm not sure he's with it. I would be blitzing with that
Yep.
sneezy E every turn.
Yep.
But
Piling on.
I
Off you
still
go.
think Kobe would take it. If he drops the Yeti, I'd say he would definitely take it.
If he drops the Yeti, I agree.
Yep.
But if he doesn't drop the Yeti, I'm going to go High Elves.
Yep.
I think the High Elves can score whenever they want. And it's really up to the rogue blokes not to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Again, they need to do that 2-1 win. Because if it gets to a tie, as you said, the High Elves can hold off for 3-4 turns and then only give you a couple of turns. You score once against them, goes to overtime, they win the coin toss, they can just score in 2 turns. Off you go.
Yeah, and that's true. And the thing about playing Norse is in some games you play Elves and they outbash you because you're playing AB7.
Yep.
And it's nothing to do with who you are as a coach, it's just the way the dice rolled that game.
That's it.
But I just have a feeling, I think that the frenzy here, Kobe's going to be able to use to effect, as long as he leaves a couple of safeties back.
Yep.
I think that's going to be the key. Leaving a couple of strength 4 safeties.
I think 2-pack. Leave 2-pack at the back.
Yeah. Yep. 2-pack works.
Leave 2-pack.
And maybe Eric Bean. as well.
I was going to say, ever been at the front leading the assault? Maybe Grandmaster Flash at
Mm,
the back. Leave the Frenzy at the back with the tackle piece. Just leave those two at the back. It's a strength 4 and a tackle, and that's
yeah,
all you need.
yep.
So you've got
It's
both options for whatever comes through.
Yeah, you need tackle or frenzy as a safety.
Yep. And then,
Preferably tackle and frenzy.
yep,
That is a good safety. That will take down the elves more times than it won't.
yep,
With tackle and frenzy on there. Same with the berserker, but it would be a shame to be keeping him back with
yep.
a sneezy E when he could be doing so much damage.
All right, so that's
Um,
one each on that one. It's going to be
yep,
another
yep,
tough
yep.
match. Last one, let's do this so my poor wife can yell at me for being too long.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm in trouble too.
yeah, you're in trouble too? Yeah. Let's quickly do this then. We've got vampires. He lost one of the vampires.
Yeah, that was a painful game. I
Yep,
think Tommy's gonna just play low TV.
yep.
Is what I would guess. He's just gonna stay with two vamps this game.
Two
Um,
two vamps. Oh,
he's
maybe. Oh,
40k.
he'll pick up the count, won't he? He'll
Well,
pick up the
I
the,
don't
the
think Aslex has a very high TV either.
who's he
I
up
don't know.
against? Oh, twelve
I have to look.
forty. No, he doesn't.
I just have to see how many loners are in there. Okay, so there's plus another 210 plus three loners, so 1450.
Okay.
There's a bit of a difference there.
And he's also
Uh,
got 40k over in cash as well, so he can drop 40 on here as well, the vampires.
yeah.
So if he could
So
pick up the actual count as his third vampire,
I don't think he'll have enough because I think he's two minus two as well. I would think about maybe getting a couple of throws extra to thin out the team.
mm,
So they do go down quickly,
or do you
and
just
then
pick up the
maybe
actual vampire?
yeah, you could do,
I
could
think
do.
probably the third.
Uh,
I'll get the third vampire back in,
it's a lot of TV and another piece that's going to be chewing on your styles though.
but it's
It
strength
for
4, agility 4.
Yeah, it's just for finals. I wouldn't take it for finals. I'm happy. I'm comfortable playing with two vamps, playing vamps.
There you go.
Um, you've got the blitz. I have a feeling that Kami will be the same. He's gonna keep the TV build low until he can rebuild.
Yep.
That'll give him a lot of options.
Yep.
You can get that throw that has armor 8. I think he's less than 100k or something. I can't remember his name. There's a very cheap throw you can get with thick skull and armor
Ah,
8.
yep.
That's just perfect for Igor for
Yes.
sucking on. He is one of the best star players you can get as Vamp because it just, especially if you're only playing one or two
Yes, he used
Vamps.
him against me.
Yeah, he's
He
good.
was
Eh? Just
annoying as shit.
it's not really for what he can do himself, but
No.
it stops him eating his own throws and taking him
Yep.
off the pitches often.
He just
Um,
stays there.
yep, he just
Yep.
has a good feed on him, and then he's still there,
Yep.
and you keep your throws.
Alright, so yeah,
Well,
Igor will probably come in.
I think so. I think Igor, you're right. He could buy another vamp, and he may decide to. I think if you're playing to win the finals, you might decide to just keep low TV.
Yep.
But if you were planning on next season, I think you'd definitely take the vamp now.
You're in show.
Focus.
If he wasn't in Show Pony, maybe
You take
for
the
the next season. But I think for
Yep.
Show Pony, you want to try and get through the first one, don't you? So
Yep.
let's have a look at the Wood Elves. Let's have a look. Again, beautiful Wood Elves. Not as much skills as I would expect. Considering he started with the no reroll, he's up to 3 rerolls, so that's all good. But it looks like it's cost him a little bit. I think he's probably had to start a few times. So he's got the thrower,
Yeah.
block and short hands. That's fine. I like it.
Frenzy will be good. in this
Frenzy.
game.
I don't like the frenzy, but I can understand it.
Yeah, I think he's just having a bit of fun with it. To be honest, you can see he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just. Most people would take Frenzy maybe on one.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of his games, but he's having a good record, so it's obviously working for him. Kami has no strip ball,
Nope.
so
Sure- sure hands?
no sure hands.
Yeah.
So that is huge.
Yep. Leap in, frenzy, strip ball.
This game could just be an absolute mess with Hypno Gaze, blitzing in, strip ball. This could. I think maybe the third vamp might not be such a bad
That's
idea.
why I'm
with
thinking.
how
Use it
rest-
as the
Hypno Gaze
gaze.
face.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm coming around. If you can get that extra Vamp and Igor in there,
Yep.
yeah, why not? Because this is just going to be an absolute scramble for the ball.
It's going to be a
Um,
shootout, I think. A
I'm
bit more of
gonna
a shootout.
I'm gonna back Ag Slangs, um,
I'll
just
go
because.
Vamps.
Yeah. So Ag Slangs, I think when the ball gets loose, which it's going to, he's got the catches, he's got the edge 5 piece to pick it up,
Yep.
and
The
he's going to
nerves
be
of
able to
steel.
move. Yeah, nerves of steel, and he's just got more movement. So
Yep.
if the ball gets out and he gets it out, the Vamps aren't going to be able to catch up as easy.
No.
I think that's what it's going to come down to is just who can get that loose ball out of general play and into a safe place faster.
Yep.
Because they're both going to have the ability to take it from each other.
He definitely can score, but I don't know. Call me 5-0. I'm going to back his record.
Yeah, 5-0. 5-0
Yep.
is a very good record.
Yep.
Woodies are a tough team to crack, though. Although he has done it against Brogs, so
Woodies win
it's
or Woodies lose, and they do. They do. I say that in the sense of they do it well, both of them. Like when
mm,
they win. You know you've been beaten, but when they
yep,
lose, it's normally you. By about turn 5, you know you've lost.
yeah,
Sometimes with Woodies, like all your guys just drop, and you're like, and by turn 7, your 4 players left on the field are all still lying on the ground because you can't risk standing them up.
My thing is I can see the ball. I can see it going either way, even if the Vamps don't chew the throwers to pieces. But there's always that chance the throwers just get creamed off the field.
Yep.
Um, and the fact that I can see it going either way, even with a good Vamp game, means I think it's going to go
Woodies.
Egg Slagan's way.
There you
Um,
go.
if yeah, he's not going to rely on the throws being taken out to win. He can do it without it. But you're right, 5-0. How do you? I'm probably an idiot.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's Woodhouse. They can pick up the ball and run away before you even know what happened. But
Yeah,
I'm just going to back Vance. He knows what he's obviously been doing. He's got the
he does. He's
records.
very good.
Last thing from you. Who's going to win Show Pony?
This season's really up for grabs. But there's 3 coaches here that we know.
Yeah. Talk up a bit more.
We got 3 coaches that are and a lot of really good coaches. But I think I'm going to have to go for Lonro,
Yep.
um, because Ika and Komi are playing a lower tier team. So who can beat them? Actually, if you can get through your first game, you could take it out with Chorfs. That'll be a huge unlock for you.
That's what I'm hoping for. I really do want to get past it because I've then got Pedo or Amazons, and I get my
Yeah.
6th dwarf back.
Yep. So I can see you. I could see you doing it. I could see Lonro doing it. I can definitely see Luca. I can basically see any of these coaches doing it, and anyone has the ability to.
They do, don't
Um,
they?
I'm gonna back Lonro just
Yep.
because that's the smart thing.
I think so too. I'm going to go
But
Lonro. I think he's got a very good run. Luke Adrian should beat me, which means if Lonro does win, he's up against Denzins, and I think it might work for him because all that claw does
yeah,
means nothing.
if you get through Luca, I think you've got a very good chance of doing it because you can. You'll have a very favourable matchup in your second round,
What? Yeah.
and then the team that you face from Chiefs would have the advantage over. So you would have the advantage of any of the other 4 teams. I
As it
would
is,
back
it's going to be
Dwarfs.
interesting. And then on the other
Yeah,
side, you've got Vamps, High Elves, Norse, and Wood Elves. So 2 bash, 2 agility. So
yeah. So the other teams that I see coming through to the finals is I think it'll be Kobe potentially or Agslags. That's how I see coming through
yep,
just on those matchups.
just needs to drop
Um,
that Yeti.
I
The
can
Yeti's not
Norse
going to
can
do much.
yeah. If he drops the Yeti, he could definitely make it through to the finals and beyond.
Yep.
Because he'll have Elf and then Elf and then Vamp. So I think he's got the advantage in either. Norse is a good matchup for Elves or Vamps,
Yep.
and yeah. So I think good chance that Kobe could make it through.
Yep.
And then I see either up against. Yeah. What about you? What about you?
It is, isn't it? If I can beat Denzens, I would like to back myself, just my team, against
Yeah,
whoever wins the
definitely.
other two. Um, on the other side, so it was, if he gets rid of that Yeti, I think he can potentially beat the High Elves.
Yep.
Um, but I did back the High Elves. I think he's got the biggest scoring threat with a wizard.
Mm.
Um, but I think even if they do win, they're going to have to face either themselves. The other side's different compared to my one. So you got the High Elf, Wood Elf, Vampire, Norse.
It's a lot more edgy over
It's a lot
there.
more edgy, but he's got all that block, and it really is block or edgy, isn't it?
Yeah. I think
So
it's not a bad matchup for any of those games for the Norse.
I think it's going to be a
Um,
repeat. Amazon versus Norse.
yeah, I can see that. I
Yep,
can definitely see that.
yep. But it's probably a good favourite.
Yeah.
I got to go, man. Wife has said I have to go.
No
Uh,
worries. All right. Nice having a chat.
Thank you so much for jumping on,
I'll see
man.
you around. Yeah, good luck for the show, Pony. Yeah.
And
Well,
good luck in your group, mate.